language learning has to be fun because they are suffering from all kinds of like engineer schools and that they're using brain so much, and I really wanted them to have joy in learning languages. Really try to find a way of making it not just only academics or language requirement, but I want them to use a language and have fun with it.
You're listening to Speaking of Language, a podcast recorded at the Language Resource Center at Cornell University. Each week, we explore a topic related to language pedagogy and language acquisition. This week on Speaking of Language,
Naomi Larson of Cornell's Japanese program joins us for a wide-ranging conversation about collaborative language and culture projects.
Welcome to a new episode of Speaking of Language. I'm Angelica Kramer, the director of the Language Resource Center at Cornell University.
And I'm Sam Lupowitz, the LRC's media manager.
We have our dear colleague and friend, Naomi Larson, in the studio with us today. Naomi is a senior lecturer in Japanese here at Cornell, and we will talk about the many wonderful opportunities she creates for language learners here and everywhere, and how she engages these students with one another and with language and culture.
Welcome to Speaking of Language, Naomi.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to talk.
Yeah, we're always delighted to spend a little time with you and hear about what you're working on. But we also like to start our podcast by asking about your background and path with languages. So what does that journey look like for you?
My path through the language is, of course, English in Japan. And my parents they were retired English teacher. And I always interested in English. So we all start learning English when we were in middle school.
Okay.
And I still remember the one time I was playing with the alphabet. And so just writing, I think I was like 5 years old, something. But I just having fun with it. But my father said, "Oh, wow, that means hen." So I said, "Really?" He said, "No." So that was my very first English. So starting from there, before I came to the United States, I thought I was able to speak, but I went to McDonald's and ordered coffee. Probably said, "Coffee." And they said, "Ma'am, I don't understand you." So from there on, I thought the importance of pronunciation.
Yep.
And that's why I am.
Awesome. That's great. So you have been teaching Japanese here for just a few years, right?
Just a few years.
And generally in the spring, you facilitate an AP Japanese project with high schools throughout the U.S. Tell us about this. How does technology help to connect learners across levels and institutions and states? How many high schools are involved? All those things. What's happening in this project?
Okay, so at the beginning of this thought, it's like I've been involved with the AP Japanese grader since, 15 years ago. I can't remember. I got connected with many AP Japanese high school teachers, and they're all amazing human beings.
Right.
Yeah. And when I started teaching the second year of Japanese, I realized most of the time we do the presentation in class. And it's pretty same
Sure.
everywhere. Like you do the presentation 102, you do the presentation 202, you do the presentation 202, you do the presentation 30. So I wanted to do something different. And also I went to the conference, the open
Open educational resources?
Yeah, open education resources. I thought about my student, Cornell students, and they create such a wonderful work. It's such a waste if I just enjoy it and then that's it. So I really wanted to have a way to use their wonderful final work, hopefully forever. So I thought about it and then get connected with the AP Japanese teachers. And they are all, high school students are all interested in talking to real college students.
Sure, yeah.
So I approached the AP Japanese high school teachers and just run the idea with them. Like, what about if we go to your high school and our students will do some presentation, have some kind of a relationship.
Yeah.
And we were very, very thrilled with it. So from there, AP Japanese SIG, the special interest group, meets every month. And that's where I meet many Japanese high school teachers.
Right.
So at that time, I made a Google form, and if there's anybody interested in this project, and then there are like more than 10 high school teachers interested, and some
That's
of them
awesome.
are my friends.
Yeah.
So we started a collaboration. So basically, my student will go to their high school just 2 weeks before the AP exam actually happens. So at that time, they're really looking for some new materials to practice with.
Right.
And so it's just a kind of great time for high school students to get to talk to the college students and our students to be a teacher of
Right.
Japanese language
Yeah.
to the students. So
when you say they go to the high school,
right.
that's not really, because I think you collaborate with some schools even in Hawaii.
That's right. And there's some in Tokyo too. So it's everything is on Zoom.
Okay.
So in the past, we did a whole presentation in their classroom. But this year, we are changing a little bit. So we will put their presentation on the Padlet, because each year I got the comments from the high school teachers. Presentation can be is too difficult, or vocabulary
right.
list is needed. And when we ask for the discussion, the high school students are very, very quiet.
Sure.
So this year, we would do the presentation online on the Padlet. So they would take a look at it, and then they will go on Zoom to high schools in Hawaii,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
California, and Texas, and Nevada,
Yeah. Nice.
to have the discussion.
Okay.
So I want them to be the discussion leader.
Okay. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I love that.
In your first year course here at Cornell, you also use technology for an interview project. What do your students do in that project?
So it's all coming from how I can give them reward. Reward meaning like they are actually using language that they are the material they are studying, working very hard. It's actual Japanese you can use with somebody.
Right.
So I feel like that is a greatest reward for them. So that's the beginning of the thinking. And of course, there is many people doing the COIL project.
Right.
But it's kind of hard do the COIL with one-on-one students. So I got connected with first I got connected with a Kyushu University professor who happened to be here. So I just to talk to him and then just provide the opportunity to how about the language exchange over Zoom?
Yeah.
And he really was very happy about it. So to make the long story short, now we are connecting with a Tsukuba University English class. And my students will get to see each other on Zoom just one time. And my students will prepare questions to Japanese students.
Yeah.
Basically, like their daily life.
Sure.
But which is one-on-one material.
Yeah.
And a group of 3, because it will be kind of scary to talk to
Right.
one by one as a Japanese one-on-one student. They've been
course.
studying only 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
So I will give them an opportunity to interview some daily life
Okay.
things to the university students. And then first 30 minutes will be Japanese only, and the second 30 minutes will be English only. So students learning English will
Right.
speak to them in
Yeah,
English.
yeah.
Sometimes they talk about same thing. Sometimes they will talk about totally different things. And after the interview, they will write the report, what they talked about in Japanese.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, those are all great opportunities for the students to actually use their language skills with other speakers of the language, right?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. And because you don't have enough going on, this semester you're also doing a haiku project.
Right.
What's that all about?
So everything comes from sweet poetry. I heard about it, and I think I went there like, wow, I want to do something with it.
Yeah.
And I thought about rather than giving my students some famous Japanese poem, what about if they create their own haiku? and present. So that was actually the beginning. So last year for the first, 2 years ago for the first time, I tried that because of the solar eclipse.
Oh,
was there.
right.
So I thought this would be kind of great.
That, yeah.
And just to make it a theme and have the students make a haiku. But at that time, I did not know anything about haiku, apparently, because I met somebody who's a haiku artist in Japan. And she pretty much told me that everything I was doing wrong. So the second year, she actually, she didn't say, you're doing everything wrong. She gave me her book so that I can follow. And then what is the haiku is all about. So that was last year. And this year, I got really connected with her. And she is actually will teach my students how to create haiku
that's
on
so
Zoom.
awesome. Yeah.
So right now, we are learning haiku, especially focusing on the kigo, which is a seasonal word, which is a kind of beautiful word for students to get to know as a vocabulary too. And choose one haiku and just the appreciation of haiku. But at the very, very beginning of the semester, I have the students create haiku to do the self-introduction. For example, it should be 575. And the last 5 could be, my name is Larson, La-son, da. And so just to describe yourself, the first they will learn how to count their names. And I just have them write something to introduce themselves. For example, my case is I love mountain and the Larson. So students made their own haiku on the first day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And so what has the feedback from your students been related to the technology-mediated activities and just all these projects you've been talking about in general?
So the biggest the reaction that I get is actually the virtual reality of second year. So I have the students, there is a thing called, how Japanese students, the students are taking Japanese because they're interested in Japanese anime.
Of course.
And manga and all that stuff. So there is a thing in Japan to go visit the location where they create the anime from. So I made a project. This is extra credit project. That they will actually go visit all those place on virtual reality, and they've had so much fun. And they just scream and giggle, and hopefully making comments in Japanese. Yes, most of the time, and they have such a fun. And actually, also the interview project, I really had a good reaction from the students. The most heartwarming one is they always say they were so scared before talking to the real Japanese people.
Right.
But afterwards, they always say, well, they are just a college student, just like me, going through the same thing.
So speaking of that virtual reality project, you are also working on a future collaboration with one of our Portuguese colleagues, Denise Osborne. I never knew this, but please enlighten us. What are the connections between Japan and Brazil, and what do you hope that both sets of students may be doing in that collaborative venture?
Okay. So I met Denise, of course, in the relationship with the Language Resource Center. However, she and I taught at the Upward Bound for the high school students program for a week.
Yeah.
And before we went to start teaching with the high school students, I thought I'm just going to do the same thing that we are doing here, and create the homeworks and a lot of speaking intense project. And I realized high school students never do homework, especially during the summer. Why should they, right? So I changed the whole thing about how to approach to the teaching. So I give them introduction to Japan. One of them is one of them I did was virtual reality. So the students will go to Japan for free. Some of the students never knew where Japan was.
Sure.
Starting from there, so we start talking about it, and then I did virtual reality to Japan, and then Denise did virtual reality to Brazil. And then we start talking about it and then realize she's very interested in the virtual reality project. And as we talked about that, we realized actually that we start talking about how many Japanese immigrants are in Brazil. And I learned it's actually the biggest immigrants from Japan are in Brazil,
That's crazy.
which I did not know about. And I knew there are a lot of Brazilian Japanese came back to Japan and work. So there are some special relationship between Brazil and the Japan and huge immigrants in Brazil. However, I do not know much about it. So I approached her and if we can collaborate so that we can talk about immigration together. I mean, the immigration in this country is a kind of a difficult subject to talk about. However, we all know some kind of immigrants in any country. So we thought about focusing on Brazilian Japanese, and we compare their experience. There might be something we can do together.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Learn from each other.
Yeah. Well, we'll be interested in seeing where this potential collaboration takes you. It's a cool project.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of cool collaborative projects, you've also been working with colleagues on a book project about manga and mental health. Please tell us more about this. What's your role in this project and where are you in the process?
Okay. So this project was brought up by the University of Hawaii Hilo, Professor Okuyama. Professor Okuyama came as a visiting scholar, invited by the Professor Andrew Campana. And her specialty is a disability study. And she did one talk, and I went to the talk. And I was very, very interested in this. And mainly because I was struggling with how I can help with the students with many difficulties.
Right.
And there are each year that we have different students from different needs. And one time, especially, that I had a student who's got a pretty severe case of ADHD, and I kind of feel like I failed to help him because I did not know how to help him.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn how I can be the teacher to him also, as well as different students.
Right.
And but then you can really take a look at the long articles and stuff.
Right.
But that was kind of too much information, or just I just want to say, so what do I need to do? So then Professor Okuyama's specialty is manga also, and she is writing books about what's the right word for this manga, but comic essay. I think comic essay talking about the people who experience actual things and write about their experience in manga, so that other people can be relatable to the other students, other people. So she brought up this project about how about if she compiled a different kind of difficulties, like mental difficulties. There's my part is translating a few mangas into English. I am working with Amy Wei, who is a graduate student over Cornell University, and we are working on translating this manga into English, so that English speaker will be able to read this manga and hopefully understand that all those students. We are working on the like ADHD, person with ADHD, depressions, bipolar, and so on. And Professor Okuyama will write about the manga semiotic. I can never say the word right. Please cut it down. Yeah. And another person is Chris Kai Jones. He is a psychologist. I mean, the psychiatrist. He is a counselor. I know there is a special word. I'm sorry, Chris. But so he's going to write about diagnose of this.
Interesting.
So that people who would read this one, sometimes the students themselves can read the manga and then say, oh, this is what I'm going through.
Sure.
Sometimes parents can read that. That's like, oh, this is what I did wrong. Some manga is coming a point of view of person themselves.
Interesting.
Some manga is from a person who are parents struggling with how to help them.
Yeah.
And and also the high school teachers or counselors, school counselors,
Yeah.
we're hoping to, like, not only us, but people will be able to understand what's going on so that we will be better able to teach or help or learn from each other. I guess learning from each other is much more important.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And do you have a rough idea of when and where this will be available?
So we are shooting for now, maybe this end of this year.
Okay.
I mean, it's kept on pushing because
yeah.
there's always.
It's complex.
We thought that this is going to be done like 2
Yeah.
summers ago or something like that, and then now it's pushed on. But we are still working on
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the joys of publication always takes longer than you think
Right.
it does. But what a meaningful and important project, and I love the idea of having these visuals and allowing people to connect that way, right? Because as you said, nobody wants to read long, complicated articles about these different diagnoses and things like that. So I think that's a very approachable project. That's wonderful. You sure know how to keep yourself busy. Any other projects you have in the works that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I think that's I mean, my my teaching philosophy is like to provide them joy. So language learning has to be fun because they are suffering from all kinds of like engineer schools and
There's
you know that they're using brain
going
so
on.
much, and I really wanted them to have joy in learning languages and just to really try to find a way of making it not to just only academics or language requirement, but I want them to use a language
Right.
and have fun with it. And fun could be different from different persons.
Sure.
So I feel like I really would love to. My job as a teacher is provide them. This can be fun for you. This can be enjoyable for you, but this could be not enjoyable for you.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so we are actually the Misa and I, Misa, my esteemed colleague in the Japanese, are working on the course called extensive reading. So for starting from next semester, so students will just gather and read books.
Oh, that's lovely.
And this is for our student from, if you finish the 101, they can join.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
for 102 students
Yeah.
to 500 level students will be in the same classroom.
Lovely.
And
Yeah.
then just to enjoy reading. And so Maki, who is the bibliographer in the All-in Library,
Yeah.
he was kind enough to reserve a room for us. So we have a really nice
Oh, that's
room
wonderful.
to
Yeah.
enjoy reading
Yeah.
instead of doing homework.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, Naomi, it is very apparent that you care tremendously about your students, about their success, about their well-being, about their learning. Thank you for everything you do for your students and for the language community. It's been a pleasure chatting with you and hearing about all these things. My head is spinning just thinking about, like, do you ever sleep? I don't know, probably not. But before we sign off, we'd like to ask you for a word in a language that you love, are learning, may want to learn, that makes you feel inspired.
So definitely I am learning a lot about kigo, the seasonal word in haiku. And there are so many words that I never encountered. There's actually two, because I like to climb mountains and I go hiking.
Yep.
One word is for the winter called yama nemuru, means like mountain sleeps. So which is a kigo, seasonal word for winter. Because in the winter, mountain it seems like sleeping.
Yeah.
But a spring kigo, which is a seasonal word, is a yama warau, which means mountain laughs. So I really
I love
like
that.
those keyboard.
That's awesome.
Wanted to share.
Yeah, we appreciate it as we appreciate any time we get to catch up with you. Thanks so much for speaking of language with us today, Naomi.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. This is such an honor. Thank you.
Join us next week to hear from Nandipa Simpengane about building community in language classrooms. Until then,
Auf Wiederhören.
The Language Resource Center is located on the ground floor of Stimson Hall on Cornell's main campus in Ithaca, New York. Check us out on the web at lrc.cornell.edu.
and follow Cornell LRC on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky.
Speaking of Language is produced by Angelika Kramer and Sam Lupowitz.
Recorded by Sam Lupowitz.
Original music by Sam Lupowitz, Dan Gable, and Joe Gibson.
Thanks also to the College of Arts and Sciences at Cornell University.
As a reminder, the ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of the College of Arts and Sciences or any other official entity of Cornell University.
We thank our listeners, and do stay tuned for our next episode.
Awesome.
We did
Thank
it.
you. Where's the music?
That will be added. Yeah, that is the post-production that Sam has to do.